Hey everyone, Red X Rain here with another episode of Let's Play Parasite Eve for the original PlayStation. So last time we worked our way through the maze that is the Chinatown sewers, picked up the CR protector, which gave us the, well, with a little trick, gave us a boost of HP, and also we picked up the burst effect from the shotgun that we found, and gave that attribute to our rifle, so that we can hit multiple targets at once, provided they're sort of within the general eyesight of, or in general range of Aya's gun. So that's definitely the hardest part of Chinatown behind us, but not the hardest part of Day 5, unfortunately. Now you have a pretty important pickup over here in this chest, which I can't get to because I have a full inventory again. But I guess I'm going to be doing a swap soon anyway, so let's just drop off this Medicine 2 here. And when we do that, we get Club number 3, which is our third and final club upgrade in the game. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to drop off Club 2 since it's now obsolete, and we'll get our Medicine 2 back. And while I'm thinking about upgrades and, let's see here. Yeah, my inventory is getting full again, so I'm going to go ahead and use some of my bonus points, which I always forget to use. I'm going to add a little bit more item capacity here. Should I do 1 or 2 slots? No, I'll just use 1 for now, and I'll add a little to my active time. Why not? And, as you might guess, since this is a long, narrow catwalk, there's got to be an enemy fight. And who better than our old friend the Bat, who you can't escape his blindness attack, or darkness attack. So we just gotta wait for it to wear off. At least it's just one of them. Still annoying. Oh, and I couldn't even get him in 3 shots. Probably has like 1 hit point left. Ugh, bastards. But I am glad to say that is where the bats end in this game, at least as I can remember. I don't think there's any more bats anywhere else. And we get our first cutscene here in quite a while. So that's Aya's reason for coming down here, which makes sense, but that cutscene always seemed a little odd to me, a little out of place. Let's see, I'm going to reload my gun here, because we do have a fight coming up. Technically, you don't have to come over here to really achieve anything. But I am going to make sure I have a bigger item capacity, because we're going to get some cool pickups here, and if we don't have the inventory space, we're going to be pissed that I don't have room for it. So, big open area. Should tip you off. And we have the return of enemies that you may have forgotten. The alligator from Day 1 in the Carnegie Hall sewers. So, they may have been bosses before, but now they're just annoying enemies to fight. These ones don't have 3 targets, though, like the one in the Carnegie Hall sewers did. Oh. But this is a much more open environment, and it's really not all that hard. Of course, we're a lot stronger, and, you know, they're not really bosses anymore, so... And if I could just get them lined up properly, and try and get them... a couple extra hit points there, thanks to our burst effect. And this is what you kind of want to do now that you have burst, is you want to try to corral your enemies into corners or into some sort of formation that will allow you to hit all of them for, you know, as much as you can. So see, we got a little CR evade, and we got a range +1. I still didn't give myself enough inventory space to really make use of it. I'm just going to get rid of one of my grenade launchers. And we'll go ahead and just use these right away. There we go. And there's some cool pickups down here in the bottom corner. A tool. I'll always take that. Now, I think sometimes those alligators will drop different combinations of armor and weapon upgrades. I think I swear I've gotten 2 CR evades before from them, but there is some, you know, random assignment to some of the items you get from enemies. So with that out of the way, let's see what we can do about getting this goop out of the sewers. And I think especially because the stuff, the orange goop, is in the sewers, this part always reminds me of Ghostbusters 2, where all that goop is... I think it's also orange in Ghostbusters 2, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's flowing in the sewers underneath New York City, of course, same location. There's a little save phone over there in case you need it. Which I do. I'm going to go ahead and save here. Just because it may be weird watching the LP, but it seems like it's been forever for me since I've saved, so... Alright, now we got this weird little, sort of a puzzle, I suppose. There's not really a whole lot to do. You gotta turn the thing on, of course, and initiate pump 1. I will tell you there's not enough power. Leave it on and activate pump number 2. And here comes the Ghostbusters scene. Now, in the long run, this doesn't really end up working for Aya, because all she did was get the slime to come out. Oh, shoot. I can't cross here, can I? Because of the water. I forgot to do something. Shoot. Yeah. You can even hear the turbines or the engines going. You do have to come back in here. Or I could have just not left and done it right. Gotta turn the, oops. Well, there's no way to go back. Come on, Aya. Turn it off. There we go. So now there's no water flowing at all, and we can just cross this little, stream bed here. There we go. And technically, that's it for the Chinatown sewers, and now we go into another area. The subway, which is really only, I don't know, 4 or 5 screens. And there's a few ways that you can go here, but I'm going to take the way that I think is most efficient. We're going to take those stairs eventually to get back to the surface. More upgrades. I really hate the music in this portion of the game. just doesn't seem to fit the rest of the music. And here's another save phone in case you need it. Not really sure why you would. Let's go ahead and use that range that we picked up. But yeah, how out of place is this music? It just doesn't sound like the rest of the game. It sounds more like... I don't know, what does it sound like it belongs in? I don't know. Not Parasite Eve, I'll tell you that much. And there is a path just like this on the opposite side, which we might see on our way back. Maybe I'll just make a full circle. And we have these new enemies, the mole, which only gets to be in the subway, so you don't really ever... They're kind of a stupid enemy. They're a lot like the worms in Central Park. You just gotta sort of stand in one place, and as soon as you see them emerge from the ground, just shoot them, and they won't even have a chance to hit you. Now when we come down here, we get a little scene that... Oh, yep, okay, yeah, here we go. Sort of another mini-boss fight here, the Centipede, which drops these poisonous balls from the ground, which is annoying, because being poisoned just takes up a whole turn. And this is a multiple stage fight. Ugh, God, I hate centipedes. It is a multiple stage fight, so first we're just gonna shoot them, hit them with all we got. I swear I've got things that look like this in my apartment. Those nasty house centipedes with all their... It's like they're not even covered with legs, they're just hair. Gross. That's what I get for living in a garden apartment. And he also has that weird electrical attack, which inflicts darkness, which we don't really have a cure for. Although there might... Well, I guess the cure's all status ailments might do it, but I'll just take it as a opportunity to heal myself. It should wear off. There we go. And that should be about enough to make them split. Yep, splits into 4 pieces. And you definitely want to take the head out first, because that's the only one that can poison you. So they do this little... Yep, there's the poison. But I'm going to just focus my attention on shooting the head. And my general strategy, because there's really no way to avoid getting hit in general. Well, I guess there is, but then you sort of jeopardize your shooting ability. This is one of those fights where I just stand in the middle, shoot, and hit as much stuff as you can. With the burst effect, sometimes when they jump in the air, you get a few extra hits out of them, and that helps. But so the head is dead, and now this is a pretty easy fight. Once they stop circling... Oh, I thought that was it. You want to go to the opposite corner, and then maybe you'll get hit by 2 of them, but usually just 1. And I think the tail might also be able to do that electric attack. Well, see, like that, I got right behind the midsection, and because of burst, I was able to shoot both parts. Burst is just so great. God, I love it. Now we just got this one lonely midsection. Bada bing, bada boom, no problem. And level up. We got lots of cool stuff. Got offense, got medicine. You could also pick up this grenade launcher, but I hate grenade launchers. So let's just swap out our medicine 2s for medicine 3s. Yeah, stupid grenade launcher. Let's see, is there anything else I want to get rid of? I don't think so. I am going to swap it out, just because, I mean, if I wanted to use a grenade launcher, take some of its attributes, it's a little bit stronger to have the 2 than to have the 3, but you can do that however you want. But I'm definitely going to add that offense +1 that I picked up. And see, here's the grenade launcher. Yeah, standard. Oh god, why would I equip it? Oh, well, there's the frost effect, but there we go. Okay. And now this part always sort of reminds me of Final Fantasy VII, like that train yard part, just because there's all these empty train cars sitting around. This is the only train car that you can enter, and it does have quite a few pickups in here. Another tool. It's a full inventory, so let's drop off a medicine 2 or something. No, I'll drop off that. Got another piece of armor. And I'll drop off this handgun. Take another tool. Let's take a look at this armor here. It's pretty good. Not nearly as high. It does have resist stiffness, but we don't really have enemies that inflict that anymore, so it's kind of a moot point to have it. This has higher defense anyway, so we'll stick with our CR protector. And now we just have to go out here. Finally, that music's gone. This seems like a weird transition. I don't know how the subway becomes this. Seems like we're missing a screen or two. But, well. Check this guy here. This fallen officer. Ah, stupid inventory. God. I should probably just heal with something. Use a medicine too. Go ahead, check him again. We got the gate key, which is going to let us get out of the sewers. Or the subway, that is. Not quite sure how Aya sees that the slime is heading for the museum, but that is indeed where it's heading. And here we get a very awkward transition to disc 2. So let's change the disc real quick here. Yes, after all that, that is where we switch to disc 2. We've been playing, we're on day 5. I don't know how many hours we're into this game, and just now we're on to disc 2. It seems so weird, I know. I try and rationalize it myself, but I guess there's just more cutscenes on disc 2 that it just made it bigger. I don't know. So this is the alternate path that you could have taken to get to the same location here. And, oh, there are 2 more bats. I lied. Well, let's definitely take these guys out first. Finally, 3 shots does it for him. Oh, the mole actually got me. That, like, hardly ever happens. And, well, 1 more shot will do it. You know, the more I think about it, I guess disc 2 is bigger because there is an optional part of the game, or an extra part of the game, that I haven't talked about yet. Once you beat the game the first time, you enable X mode, which basically means you have to play the whole game again. Things are a little bit harder, and there's a whole other level, super sub-level, I guess, called the Carnegie Building, that advances the story further and has a whole bunch of new challenges and gets you new weapons. And that's all stored on disc 2. So I guess that makes sense that because there's a whole extra... It's basically like adding a whole extra day to the game. And so that's it. That's it for Chinatown and the sewers and the subway and everything. It's nighttime, and when we come back next time, we'll finish day 5 by going to the museum. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.